NBC40 presents Conversations with the Candidates.
Hello and welcome once again to Conversations with the Candidates. I'm Jeff Whitaker. Between now and the November general election, we'll be talking with the men and women running for the office of Governor, U.S. Senate, along with the State Senate and Assembly candidates from South Jersey. We'll spend 30 minutes with the candidates, learn their background, why they are seeking the office, and then most importantly, why electing them is the choice that you should make. We're also giving you, our viewers, an opportunity to submit your questions to the candidates as well, and I'll tell you later on how you can participate. This half hour, we'll speak with the Republican candidates seeking the state assembly seats in the 1st Legislative District. Sam Fiocchi is a member of the Cumberland County Board of Freeholders since 2011. He is a former small businessman. Kristine Gabor has served on the Upper Township Committee in Cape May County and was elected to the Cape May County Board of Freeholders last year. Freeholders Fiocchi and Gabor, welcome. Good to have you with us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure
Thank you,
to be
Jeff.
here.
Sam Fiocchi, tell me a little bit about your background and what got you involved in politics.
Well, I'm a small business owner. I was a small business owner for nearly 4 decades. We provided employment. And when I decided to step down from the family business, I thought that I wanted to give back to New Jersey, back to my district. I love living here. So I thought the best way to do that would be seek public office. And so I said, well, you know what? We want to stay here, be part of the solution rather than part of the problem.
So what made you decide I'd like to take from the county level in the Freeholder Board and then move on to more of a statewide position?
Well, actually, I was certainly encouraged when Governor Christie, at the time I met candidate Christie, and he was very encouraging about the direction he was going to take the state in, and I thought that I would really like to work with him in Trenton, help move the state forward. That's how we can affect the most change, by going to the state level. So that was my passion and reason for doing so.
Kristine Gabor, you are a former Upper Township Committee woman. You are now a freeholder in Cape May County. Tell us a bit about your political aspirations and how you got involved in the political process.
There were no political aspirations. It was simply a community service objective for me. Always been involved with my children and fundraising and volunteering wherever I could, a member of Rotary, and just had friends that were interested in politics, and we started having conversations, and they said, you might find some interest in this. Why don't you join the local club? And I did. And then I realized there was really some value there, and I really could take it to the next level. So they had an opening and looking for someone to run for township committee. Asked me if I would be one of the people to consider it, and I said, sure, why not? And that's just where it all started, and I just fell in love with public service.
What have both of you seen, and whoever wants to answer is fine, on the freeholder level that you think, now, gee, this has made me more sensitive to the district at large, and this is what I'd like to bring to the table?
Well, I don't know if you want to start, or I'll jump in. We have two. I'm a Cumberland County freeholder. Kristine is a Cape May County freeholder, and we have, very difference of needs that we have in both. Of course, one of the outstanding things we both share is unemployment is a huge issue. Tourism is very big in Cape May County. Farming and light business is very big in Cumberland County. So there's definitely been a need. Businesses there need relief. We have been holding business roundtables since March, seeing what the businesses need, and that's really where we're moving forward.
Kristine?
Being a freeholder in Cape May County and overseeing Health and Human Services specifically has given me an opportunity to meet different people from all economic stations of life and different times of their lives. Understanding what it's like to be elderly and not be able to afford to stay in your home anymore because the taxes are too high, or having disabled children and not being able to afford to take care of them or have opportunities for them. People whose children are leaving for college and not coming back. All those things are factors, but I've had the opportunity to understand what it's like to live in someone else's shoes just by meeting so many different people, and also learned how to work with a budget and what it's like to facilitate government and how difficult and cumbersome it actually can be. The wheels of justice do turn slowly. That saying is true.
We have 2 incumbents in the 1st District right now, so they are currently serving. What compelling reason would you give to voters to say, let's make a switch? These gentlemen, one of them newly brought in as an appointment to someone who left, but then the other who's been in for a while, what is it about them that you would say, gee, you know, we need a chance to be in there and do something a little different? What would make you different?
Well, you know, Bob hasn't been in that long, so there's really no record on him. But Nelson's been in for about 8 years, and they always run as the Van Drew team. They've promised lower taxes, lower unemployment, and quite the opposite has really happened in our district. So, you know, we feel that we deserve a chance and that we can do a better job at it.
And I think Sam and I are very independent thinkers. We have the ability to speak our own mind and make our own decisions on what we think is right for our community. I think we have the experience in elected a local government that lends a hand to what we feel we can do for our community.
Give us how the feel of how you would work with Governor Christie, because he is popular in some circles but can be a very polarizing figure as well. So how do you play that coming out of the district?
Well, the governor's done, I think, a really great job. You know, I always say that New Jersey is like an ocean liner, I think, that's been going in the wrong direction. So it takes a long time to steer the ship back in the right direction. He started to do that. One of his best strengths is that he's very good at delegating authority. So he's brought the lieutenant governor in to bring businesses back. New Jersey was a mecca for businesses years ago. Before Governor Christie became, it was 50th in the country. So he's recognized that, you know, we need to bring business back. Cumberland, or actually the first district, New Jersey, needs to be business friendly. So, so as far as that goes, I can see that you know, we're on the same page with the governor.
Yeah, and the governor has done a wonderful job at being able to work across the aisle and get things done. But without a Republican majority in the legislature, he's not going to be able to continue what he started. So had he had that majority, we would be much farther ahead than we are now. He would have been able to do things a little more quickly, and we probably would be in a little better position than we are right now. So I think the goal here is to make sure that there's a Republican majority in the legislature so we can move things forward for him in his last term.
As you say, Cumberland and Cape May County have a lot of similarities, but they have a lot of differences as well. I mean, there are great portions of Cape May County that are rural and have some farmland out there, but Cumberland County, of course, major in that way. And then, of course, the beaches and the tourism. So the strengths that you two bring, what do you see as the biggest need for your district right now?
Well, unemployment is really huge. You know, there's no question about it. You know, and in Cumberland County, we hovered at probably around 12%, which is much higher than the state average. But what was alarming is that actually Cape May County is even higher, and we do have a small portion of Atlantic County, and they suffer from the same problem. So, so that's been the big issue, and that's what, you know, we developed an 8-point plan, you know, to help businesses grow and to help curb unemployment.
Tell us a little bit about that plan and what you hope to implement should you make it to Trenton.
Well, what we want to do is have a regional plan, not just, like you said, we have different characteristics. Cape May County has a large tourism industry, not so much in Cumberland, and the similarities we have are the high unemployment. What we want to do is work together with the organizations at the state level and bring them here and have regular meetings with them to actually make some changes, develop the tourism. You know, we don't want to change what we have, we just want to make what we have better. And if we all work together in a regional group, regular meetings with the organizations that are available at the state level and bring them here to see
Which organizations are you talking about?
Well, we have the Choose New Jersey, the Business Action Center. You know, we continually argue with and fight with the DEP. There's all these things we want to bring people. We want to bring people to the table and say, this is what we have here. These are the issues that small business owners are having here, people who cannot find work are having here. Let's figure out a way to make it better. And I think that was one of the major things, is just really getting our hands dirty and doing some really hard work to make some significant changes here.
One similarity that both of your counties would have would be the tourism in Cape May County is by nature very seasonal, and the agriculture, of course, is seasonal as well. So it would seem to me that apart from bringing other industry or other business in, that's just going to be something that's inherently going to be there year after year, just based on the fact that that's the kind of economy you have.
We want to enhance what we have,
Yes.
already have, like we said here. We have agriculture and we have ecotourism. Our Bayshore communities can play a large part in that. We have the Bayshore Heritage Byway. There's a lot of things we could be doing there. There's a lot of help they need there that, you know, the DEP could really help us with, and when they could, you know, get rid of that red tape. That's another thing.
Yes.
Red tape review that the Lieutenant Governor does now is wonderful. We want to move forward with that and say, as we're meeting with business owners at the roundtable, the one thing they say is, just let government get out of our way. Like, we know what we're doing. We don't want them trying to inhibit progress by putting more red tape and more legislation on us. So we want to bring that message to the table and say, not just say, you know, we hear you and not do anything. We actually want to listen, bring it to the table and say we're going to do something about it. And that's part of the plan.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break, and we'll be back with more of our discussion right after this.
Conversations with the Candidates, brought to you in part by the ACUA, keeping recycling easy and convenient in Atlantic County, and by Sure Crucial Care Atlantic City. The doctor will see you now for your urgent medical needs.
Music inspires, but passion makes us the best. Passion led us to build Shore Medical Center's state-of-the-art surgical pavilion and earn Plaintree designation for the best patient-centered care. It's a passion we share with our exceptional physicians, our affiliates at Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey and Penn, and as a member of the Jefferson Neuroscience Network. Most of all, it's a passion for the people we care for. Shore Medical Center, New Jersey's only Plaintree designated patient-centered hospital.
On Friday night, after the final whistle, Jack stepped up his game.
I like a guy who's not afraid to put it out there.
With her kids and all the neighbors watching, Amy just did it.
Way to put it out there, Mommy.
Isn't it time you put your recycling out there with everyone else in Atlantic County? There are tons of things you can recycle with no sorting involved. And you can put it out there in almost any container. Find out what, how, and when at recycleatlanticcounty.org.
If you have a leak in your air conditioner, you're going to find out pretty soon when you turn it on. If your unit uses Freon, you're in for a rude awakening. This stuff now costs 1,500 times more than it did 14 months ago. That's massive. You're going to pay a small fortune to get your air conditioner repaired. Look into your options, make a decision. Maybe it's cheaper or at least more economical to put a new unit in. Don't put this out into Freon. Check your options. Call McAllister, the service company, and mcservice.com.
Your opinion really does matter. Here at NBC40, we want to know what's important to you. We'd like to invite you to be part of the NBC40 Viewer Information Panel. As an NBC40 VIP, you can tell us what's important to you, what you like about NBC40, and how we can improve. And to show our appreciation for being an NBC40 VIP, you will automatically be entered into a random drawing for a $250 Visa gift card. Signing up is easy. Visit NBC40.net and click on the VIP logo.
Welcome back. Sam Fiocchi and Kristine Gabor are two freeholders, one from Cape May, one from Cumberland County. They are running for the Republican slot for the 1st District Assembly seats. And we're having our discussion with them this half hour. We're going to get to some of your questions that you have written in and let them tackle those questions. Ryan in Linwood writes, "It's been said that property taxes drive up housing costs, keeping people from moving to New Jersey and causing people to leave New Jersey. Do you have a plan to reform the tax structure within the state to help the middle-class voters?"
Well, a lot of it has to do with businesses. You know, you bring more businesses in, you have, you know, then that creates more ratables, and that creates income, that creates jobs. So, you know, in that sense, you know, there's more money, and you can help relieve property taxes.
He's absolutely right. The commercial ratables are the key. If we don't have those, we're not going to be able to offset the property tax. So that's one of the primary things.
I think I brought this up to the candidates, to your opponents, that I have friends that live in South Carolina. They moved down there. They pay property taxes of about $800 a year. It's 10, 20 times that amount for some people that live here. How did New Jersey get to where it is now? You're in government. You know what it costs to run county government. Explain to people out there in the audience, and to someone like me, a layman, how folks in South Carolina can have businesses and government that thrive, and highways and charge property taxes of $100 a year as opposed to $8,000 to $10,000 a year here, and we still don't have enough money to do what we need to do?
Usually it's a spending problem is really what it is. And this has happened before Governor Christie came along. When Governor Christie took office, they presented him with an $11 billion tax deficit. So, and he sat down, he worked, and he managed to close that gap. So we find that in county government, you have to, really watch your dollars. It's like a business plan, we do in a business. So you have to watch your dollars, but being as the spending has been out of control for so long, it takes time to turn that tide. So that's, and that's what you have to do in county government, and that's what you have to do in state government. It's all about watching your dollars.
Mm-hmm. And limiting the size of government, limiting what you're spending on government. We in Cape May County, we work very well together in trying to keep our budget in line, and we're always looking at ways to be more efficient. And we've also empowered the employees that we do have to come up with ideas, and we listen to them, and they tell us what we think we do better. And it's amazing when you empower people, the great ideas that can come to pass. And we have a wonderful wellness program now because our healthcare costs were so high, that affects taxes. So we have a health and wellness center now that was given to us by grant funding, no taxpayer money spent. And we've seen a dramatic decrease in our health insurance costs, which taxpayers pay a large portion of. So when we all work together and come up with great ideas to make things better, it can work. We just have to work at it.
Sam, your family has a small business. You come from small business.
Yes.
As a small business person, what do you say to the state government as far as you talk about less government? How do you convey to the government, get off my back? And when you say that, what do small businesses mean by that?
Well, I always make the statement that you need government to stand by you and not stand in your way. So, one of the things as we talked about was the Lieutenant Governor's red tape review. That removes a lot of the obstacles, particularly for new businesses, but also for existing businesses. Some of the things that they've done, like the single sales factor, and that's particularly like businesses that are multi-jurisdictional. It reduces a lot of the taxes, so incentivizes businesses to come in. That's been a good factor. So the governments previous to this time have found additional ways to keep taxing businesses. This administration is trying to find ways to remove them, and that's what we need. Reduction of some of those taxes, removing some of those onerous taxes that the businesses face today.
Sticking with the same kind of topic here, Linda from Millville writes, how do you feel about raising the minimum wage in New Jersey? Do you believe it's fair or should it be raised?
Well, the minimum wage jobs were not meant to be lifelong career jobs. They were meant to be made as stepping stones for people to go into other careers. I'm not adverse to a slow increase to the minimum wage. I certainly wouldn't want it attached to the CPI. The problem that we have when we talk to business owners is that they're very concerned that if they're going to be forced to pay a higher minimum wage, they're going to end up hiring less people. So in effect, you're going to have the reverse effect. They're going to have less people working, even though they may be making a few dollars more per hour. So in the end, it may not benefit us so much.
Yeah, and additionally, they were going to change the Constitution to tie it to the CPI, the Consumer Price Index, and that's like totally unacceptable. That'll drive businesses out of New Jersey, left and right.
James from Strathmere writes, what is your view on gun control in the state? Do we need to have stricter regulations on automatic weapons and high-capacity magazines? And also, what do you think about school security being allowed to carry weapons?
I think we'll probably both answer that as well. But we live in both counties, and actually even our portion of Atlantic County are pretty much Second Amendment people. The laws that we have in New Jersey usually penalize the legal gun owners. What we need is stricter laws for those that carry and discharge weapons illegally. So right now we do not need any more gun laws, and there again, stricter penalties for those that have guns illegally.
Yeah, the only thing I want to see is to protect I want to protect people from people who illegally use guns in crime. People with mental illness should not be allowed to have weapons. But I want law-abiding citizens to have the right to own a gun. We should not be making laws that hurt law-abiding citizens. They haven't done anything wrong, and I don't think they should be penalized.
What about security being allowed to have weapons in schools?
I don't think it's necessary. I really don't think it is necessary. I believe it.
I certainly don't want to believe that it's necessary, but if if they need to have it, it needs to make sure that it's in the hands of the right person. They've talked about having teachers and different people carrying weapons. I'm not so sure that that would be the right move, but if we had to do that, I would want to make sure that whoever's carrying that weapon is fully qualified and able to handle that.
Our next question comes from Edward S. in North Wildwood. Do you approve of licensing of medical marijuana facilities in the state?
Well, anytime that you can have additional therapies to help people with pain and suffering, I think is a good thing. There's no question about it. But we're charting unnavigated waters right now. So I think that, we need to consider it, look forward, make sure that we have the proper rules in place so that, so that it's the intended use for it goes where it's supposed to go.
Yeah, we need to have the proper controls in place, but like Sam had said, and I know like they have children that they can really benefit from having that. They can make it in pill form. There's different ways of manufacturing it. You never want to see anyone be in pain if that's going to help them, but we want to make sure that it doesn't get into the wrong hands and used for the wrong reason.
Let me ask each of you, what would be your #1 priority should you be elected once you get to Trenton? What would be the first thing that you would focus on, Sam?
Well, I guess part of it's our 8-point plan. I mean, we need to implement whatever we can to make it more business friendly, get businesses in. That creates employment, because unemployment is our biggest issue in our district. So need to implement the issues that we have on our plan to do so.
And I've never owned a business, so I look at this from just a common sense, everyday person perspective. If the law is getting in the way of us being able to live an affordable, happy, and comfortable life here, let's look at it and get rid of it if we don't need it. We overregulate ourselves. We put ourselves in positions where we just make life harder for ourselves. There's no reason to do that. So I'd like to take the perspective of let's look and see what's already on the books, and if it's not working, get rid of it and get government out of the way, just like everyone has been asking us to do.
We're going to take a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to ask both of the candidates their main reason why they believe you should vote for them come this November. Stay with us.
At Horizon, we offer our patients a customized approach to cataract surgery.
You ask them what their desires are, you ask them what their needs are, and you figure out what it is that particular person needs.
We also now have implants that will be coming out that correct both astigmatism and far and near vision.
Those kinds of premium lenses are available.
And this really gives them an option to have vision that they didn't think was possible. And that's what we do at Horizon Eye Care. We keep up with the technology and we offer it to our patients when it's the right thing for them.
Raymore and Flanagan is offering unprecedented store-wide savings during our 60th anniversary $250,000 cash giveaway celebration. Like this comfy recliner, take 27% off, or this leather ottoman, take an enormous 33% off. How about this leather recliner with ottoman? Take 25% off. Plus, never before offered 0% APR for 60 months with equal monthly payments. Only at Raymore and Flanagan.
24 years old, and when I first joined the credit union, I had no credit. Between the loans and the advice they've given me, I've built a good foundation and raised my score from a 400 to a 700. I was even able to buy my first car. The credit union gives the little guy a chance when some of the big banks don't have time for people just starting off. Not only is my credit strong, I also have a strong relationship with my credit union, one that I can trust in.
Like Ricky, many are struggling. Visit bankingyoucantrust.com for help. Credit unions, banking you can trust.
This season, grab your favorite NFL team jersey.
Join NBC40 every Sunday night for NFL.
NBC40 has the top rivalry games that will keep you on the edge of your seat.
And remember, you can see us in high definition on Comcast Channel 798. And you know what they say, Sean.
That's right, Pete. NBC40 looks great on 798 HD.
NBC40 has your NFL games covered.
Welcome back to this edition of Conversations with the Candidates. We are speaking with the Republicans who are running for the 1st District Assembly seat. And Sam Fiocchi is a freeholder in Cumberland County. Kristine Gabor is a freeholder in Cape May County. And we're going to give them an opportunity now to tell you why you should vote for them this November. Sam, why should the voters choose you over the Democratic slate?
Well, I certainly have the time, I have the commitment and the energy, to do the job as a job creator. I want to bring that knowledge and that experience to Trenton. help move the district forward, to help the state move forward. And as a freeholder, I've never voted for a tax increase.
Kristine?
Because I think the people of our community deserve everything they possibly can get out of their legislators. I think that having experience as a regular working person and a mom raising kids and worrying about paying my mortgage and taxes like everybody else has given me great insight. Serving as a freeholder and overseeing health and human services and aging and disability services has given me an opportunity to see other people and their struggles. And I'm just ready for fight for them, no matter who they are, no matter where they live in this district. I think they deserve a voice. I think they feel that they have been ignored to some extent, and it's time to give them what they need and make life affordable and comfortable for them. This is a wonderful place, and people deserve to be happy, and that's what we want to do.
Do you talk with any officials in Trenton or any of your other colleagues or potential colleagues in other districts to kind of get a feel as to what things will be like if you get to Trenton?
Yes, actually I was honored to be on the governor's transition team, so I've always had a conduit with Trenton. 2 years ago when the governor got in, we have a liaison that we speak to regularly. I think Kristine and I both have the same liaison. John Amadeo in the 2nd district, actually I went to high school with, so I keep in contact with John Amadeo. And we've been up to Trenton a few times. We've addressed the caucus, so we keep a pulse on what's going on in Trenton.
And I found it fascinating to listen to them discuss bills and go back and forth and debate, and to really have a say in what happens in your community and your state. To really feel like you're really making a difference on the behalf of the residents of your community. It's fascinating, and I absolutely fell in love with the opportunity.
We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with more of our conversation right after this. Stay with us.
Conversations with the Candidates, brought to you in part by the ACUA, keeping recycling easy and convenient in Atlantic County, and by Shore Crucial Care Atlantic City. The doctor will see you now for your urgent medical needs.
On Friday night after the final whistle, Jack stepped up his game.
I like a guy who's not afraid to put it out there.
With her kids and all the neighbors watching, Amy just did it.
Way to put it out there, Mommy.
Isn't it time you put your recycling out there with everyone else in Atlantic County? There are tons of things you can recycle with no sorting involved. And you can put it out there in almost any container. Find out what, how, and when at recycleatlanticcounty.org.
Music inspires, but passion makes us the best. Passion led us to build Shore Medical Center's state-of-the-art surgical pavilion and earn Plaintree designation for the best patient-centered care. It's a passion we share with our exceptional physicians, our affiliates at Rutgers Cancer Institute of New Jersey and Penn, and as a member of the Jefferson Neuroscience Network. Most of all, it's a passion for the people we care for. Shore Medical Center, New Jersey's only Plaintree designated patient-centered hospital.
If you have a leak in your air conditioner, you're going to find out pretty soon when you turn it on. If your unit uses Freon, you're in for a rude awakening. This stuff now costs 1,500 times more than it did 14 months ago. That's massive. You're going to pay a small fortune to get your air conditioner repaired. Look into your options, make a decision. Maybe it's cheaper or at least more economical to put a new unit in. Don't put this out into Freon. Check your options. Call McAllister, the service company, and mcservice.com.
NBC40. All throughout South Jersey, our viewers know when they want local coverage, we're the place to go. You don't live in Philly, and neither do we. NBC40. Wherever you watch us, news, weather, and sports, the station where local comes first.
And that is all the time we have for this edition of Conversations with the Candidates. If you would like to submit a question for future guests running for office, you can visit our website at NBC40.net and look for the Conversation with the Candidates logo on the right side of the homepage. There you can submit your question, and you may hear us use it on a future edition of our forum. Again, visit NBC40.net to submit your questions. Our guests today have been Republican Sam Fiocchi and Kristine Gabor. Both are seeking the 1st District Assembly seats in the November election. I'm Jeff Whitaker, inviting you to join us next time for another edition of Conversations with the Candidates.